Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Facebook Live here at Artistic Artifacts. My name is Andy Martin. It's great to welcome you to the live stream this morning. Happy Saturday. Happy November. Where did the year go? But all of a sudden, here we are in November, and we're getting ready for holidays. So we're in crunch time, right? And so we wanted to give you a couple ideas about how to customize your tablescape, with using the rolled hem on napkins, on linen napkins. So we're going to show you that today. Please make sure you say hi in the chat and tell us where you're from. We'd love to see where the community is all about. So just to give you an idea of what we're gonna do, this is the white linen napkin, and here on the edge we've got the rolled hem. It's a really nice finish. Gives it a really elegant look, and it's really much simpler than you might think. Here's another example. So today we're going to be using this festive kind of green color. Again, thinking about fall. Kyle, let's go over to the iron. So you definitely want to, this is the Robert Kaufman Essex linen that we have here at the store. You definitely want to pre-wash your linen before you start working with it. Linen does have a tendency to fray, so if with your serger or with your overlock stitch, you want to make sure and overlock your edges so that you don't you're going to have a lot of lint anyways. You don't want to have a lot of fraying. So we're going to do a quick press just to make sure that everything's good here using the Laura Star iron. Just makes such quick work of the pressing. And the reason we're pressing is because, again, that linen tends to shrink up, and can be, and we want to make sure that we have a great, a very consistent finish, because we're going to mark, our napkins and cut. So I've got enough pressed here. So let's go over to the table. Now so I'm going to be making a napkin that is approximately 18 inches by 18 inches square. The easiest tool that I've found to do that, to mark that, is one of these, one of these Taylor's, L rulers. But yeah, I know that this isn't necessarily something that everybody has, and so this is where you can combine one of your long rulers with another ruler to get a little bit of an angle to mimic that. But I'm going to line up the long edge here on the selvage, and then just with a chalk pen, I'm going to mark I'm going to go ahead and mark the 18 inch, or I'm going to mark the 18 inch, and we're going to mark all the way down. And I'm going to use this as my stitching line, when we go over to the serger. So when I cut, I'm going to cut it a little larger, than the stitching line. Again, I want to make sure that I give myself as much leeway as possible when I'm working with this linen. Then I'm just going to flip it over, line up the long, and this is where the long edge of this L ruler is really handy, because I know that I'm going to have a nice square edge. Again, I'm going to go out to 18. Just make sure everything's smoothed out. Then flip again, line up that edge, go all the way down. And then final one here. And what I'm checking for here is that when I line up the edge here, that my 18 is on that first line that I drew. And that way, I have a really good sense that it's square. Okay, and I'm not sure how well this is going to show up for Kyle, but now I've got the square, going all the way around. And I would mark that for all of my napkins. And and with 1 yard, so I cut a yard and a half of fabric. I split it down the middle and then serged, to pre-wash. So with this, I would be able to get another napkin out of this. I'm going to have a little bit of waste, but that's okay, because the waste makes great for the the test sample that you need to, and I do recommend making a test sample. Alrighty, now we're gonna cut, and I'm gonna cut about an inch beyond. I'm gonna line up my 1 inch my cutter, or my ruler, about an inch past that that line that I just drew, so that again I have lots of I have a little bit of room. And with the serger, you're going to cut off the excess on the right side, and that helps to make sure that you've got a great finish, but also that you're going to catch the catch the fabric with this rolled hem stitch. Alrighty, flip, and because I'm right here by the selvage, I only have to cut twice. Alrighty, now we've got our napkin blank. And you can see that this is a pretty good size. An 18-inch napkin is a great dinner size napkin. Some people will tell you will go up to 20, but I don't. I find if I go up to 20, I have more waste, because again, to get that little bit of extra, it just means that I've got to have more yardage to cut from to begin with. So let's go over to the machine, Kyle, so we can show everybody the setup. Alrighty, so again, today we're on the L890. I've selected stitch number 13, which is the rolled hem stitch. It's a 2-thread rolled hem. I'm going to have thread in my right needle, and I'm going to have thread in the lower looper. Right now I don't. I've got I'm going to set it for needle down. My stitch width is at 1.2. My tensions are at 4 and 4. One couple things that are new about or different about the rolled hem. So here, this is the lower looper, or the upper looper, I'm sorry, and I have engaged the upper looper converter. So normally this little piece is down here at the back, but for the 2-thread rolled hem, I've got it pulled forward, and I've got it latched in. There's a little notch on the back side where that's going to go, and that's going to allow me to the lower looper thread is going to go over that and form the stitch nicely. Also, I've got so there's a stitch finger that is controlled here, and when you've got it in O, or overlock mode, the stitch finger is out, and normally the looper thread would fold, or would form over that. We're going to put it into R, or rolled hem mode, and that's going to retract that stitch finger, and again that's going to allow the lower looper thread to go all the way from the back, all the way around the edge of the fabric up to the top, and get caught by the needle thread, and then going to make that stitch. I'm also going to put this little device on. This is called the Thread Fusion, and it was developed by Gail Yellen, and who her website is gailpatrice.com, and this is going to allow me to put 2 spools of thread and this is the Wonderfil Softloc on my in my lower looper position, and I'm going to have a fuller stitch, rolled hem stitch. And the way that this works, I've got the base here. I've got the 2 pins on it. I'm going to just put the base on the lower looper position, right back there, and it just fits right around. And then I'm going to put the Softloc spools on, and then we're going to thread the machine. And the L890 has air threading, so this makes it super easy. I've got both threads. We're going to get it back here, pull it down. We're going to engage the air threader, and then so I've engaged the air threader. The tubes are now on, and I've got the air going. I'm going to use we'll try to get the sometimes these threads are a little touchy, and we might have to use a thread cradle, but we'll try. And if I'm going too fast, please put a comment in the chat so we can explain anything, that because there's a lot of different techniques that we're using here. All right, and you can see the threads over here, and that's all there is to threading the lower looper. I've already got the cone, the serger cone in the right needle position, so I think we're ready to go ahead and stitch. Do we have any questions, Kyle?
Just a request to plug the tailor's ruler.
Plug the tailor's ruler. Sure. So,
the company.
Oh, well, I got this. So it's a standard. The ruler is by Lance. You can find this at different shops. I believe I got this online at wawak.com. But if you look for, this is the 24-inch ruler, and you can find this online. So now I'm going to take the blank here, and you can see that you can see the line here. I'm going to use that to line up on this first position on my presser foot, so that I'm going to just follow that all the way down. So we've got.
Now that line does not show up on camera.
Okay, so the line is, so there's the line and there's the line, and so it's right there, and so I'm going to move it over just a little bit so that I get my full. And then, like I say, this once we start stitching, you're going to see that the stitches go all the the lower looper threads are going to go all the way from the back all the way over to the front, and create that wonderful finish. Got to get the Bernina growl out of the way. Okay. Let's get these thread tails. And I find a slow and steady, consistent, speed works best. And I'm just, keeping the fabric moving through the machine. And we're going to go all the way through. And I'm going to sew a little bit of the cut, and there you see that rolled hem on the edge. And I'm using the dark thread is my needle thread, and then on the back you can see what it looks like. And just a really nice finish. Now sometimes you do get a little bit of some of the linen might, some of the threads might poke out a little bit. If that's an issue for you, let me grab. So you can use a wash away stabilizer. You can cut a ribbon of this, and then you can put that on top, and that will stitch, and then it'll pull off. So let me just cut a quick. And I like the OESD Stitch 2.0. That's my favorite. You wash away. One tip about with wash away stabilizer, you do want to make sure that when you are storing it, that you store it in a plastic bag or a container, a sealed container, because it will dry out. So for this, I'm now going to just put that on top, just over my line. I'm going to get that, and I do tend to fold over just to give it a little, give me a little bit more, give me a little more control. And again, we're just going to stitch down. And sometimes I need a third hand. There we go. So now you'll see, and this happens to me a lot when I use the stabilizer. It is a little fiddly, so you have to take your time, make sure that you get everything nice and flat, and just keeps. And I would have a second ribbon of the stabilizer to go all the way down if I were, gonna do this. I'm just gonna keep going. And then again, and then I would just, tear the wash away stabilizer. And I tear, pulling it away from the stitches, not into the stitches, so that it goes. And there again, we've got the rolled hem finish.
We do have a couple questions.
Okay.
So, is it necessary to make it an inch bigger if that inch is just going to get cut off?
Not necessarily. You could cut it, a half inch or a quarter inch if that, whatever seam allowance or whatever you want. I use an inch so that I have plenty of room, so that especially if I might cut and not get to the get to sewing or get to stitching in the same day, if it gets moved. That that I don't have a lot of fraying, and that fraying, and if it does fray, that it's not going to get going to reduce the size of the napkin.
And then, what was the thread you were using that was the darker thread?
So the darker thread here, this is a serger cone thread. Another a great option that we've got here is the Wonderfil Designer. It's a 40 weight thread that but again, I like using for serging. I like to use the serger cones because it means I have to change cones less frequently. Okay, great. So another nice thing about the with the thread fusion is that we can, again, we've got two spools, so we can mix and match colors. So I'm going to cut the greens here, And we're going to swap that out, for some red and white, and do something that's a little bit more holiday, especially here with our green napkin. And again, this is the beauty of the air threader, is that this is a fairly quick process. And we use the Wonderfil Softloc because this is a woolly poly. It's a multi-strand thread that comes together, and it actually gets a little thicker when tension is applied to it. So let's just get all this unthreaded. Some people will also tie a knot to just pull the thread through, but I find with the air threader it's just faster to just do it with the air threader. So now we've got, again, get that, engage the air threader, turn on the pipes, and I'm just going to make sure that's all engaged by pushing on the foot pedal. And there we go. I'll get that thread out. And just the air threading is just such a game changer, with regard to serging. All right, where are we at? All right, I think I'm on the back. There we go. So now let's see what this new thread combination looks like. And so you see now we kind of have a candy cane, or the variegated stripe effect, which may be what you're looking for. It may not, but the great thing is that that's where we're having a little extra fabric will allow you to do a great sample. It'll allow you to experiment with the different threads, use the thread fusion, and go for that. The thread fusion is also great when you're doing cover stitch, because you can use heavier weight. You can use 8-weight or 12-weight thread in the cover chain looper, and using the thread fusion, you can again have multiple threads, and that gives you a whole new way to embellish your fabric and embellish your project. The details for the rolled hem are all in the big book of Bernina's Big Book of Serging, and this is a great resource for all your serging questions. The rolled hem is specific, and rolled hem for napkins is specifically discussed here. So what other questions do we have, Kyle?
When again would you use the stabilizer?
So I'd use the stabilizer if I noticed that I had a lot of thread that was poking out, from the rolled hem. One of the nice things about having the two threads is that, and also the soft lock, it fills in nicely. It really fills in well here on the L890. But if you notice that you had some gaps, that would, the stabilizer, is helpful there. Also, if you notice that your stitch is not catching, where it's kind of pulling away, it's pulling off easily, using the stabilizer that's a way to give it some additional something else to catch on to and hold on to. So again, we've got a number of projects coming up. Police. One that I made last year was this little, and we use this as kind of a table, just a table holder, but I used the the glamour, so it's got you know the sparkly gold thread, and then we put a glass Christmas tree that we had lit, underneath it, so it was a nice way to do that. You can also, I made one of the samples that I made, with a contrasting thread on the blue. So again, really the options are really limitless, only based on your creativity and how you want to embellish your napkins and really customize your tablescape. So as you're thinking about all the cooking you're going to be doing, all the different projects, think about getting some linen, making some custom napkins with rolled hem, and again, that really kind of elevates your tablescape as you're getting ready for the holidays. Do we have any other questions? Well, thanks so much for tuning in to the live stream today. Come on into the store. We've got a number of great deals going on, and we love to see everybody. And again, please tell us where you're at in the chat. We'd love to read the comments. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.